Oh God, we're doing a podcast.
What is it now, Karen? Episode 21.
Hello and welcome back to WIINK, everybody. We continue to build mystique and anticipation around the WIINK brand by doing absolutely nothing for 6 weeks at a time. How are you, Bethany?
I'm good. I'm a little sad that we're back to Zoom. Very 2020 of us, but I am happy to see you, as always.
It's convenient, isn't it? We're not back to Zoom by any lockdown restrictions, but
I know, which is the nice part, is that we're distancing by choice. Although I hate to, put a dampener on things, but if the news is anything to go by, then potentially we might be forced to be Zooming at Christmas again. If
Christmas is cancelled for the second year in a row, I'm going to scream because I'm actually off this year and I'm really looking forward to it. So if there's another lockdown at Christmas time, I will be extremely upset.
Are you going to join the protesters?
I will be front and centre, George Square.
So how have you been?
Been fine. Busy with work and life as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Unwell for the first time in a long time. Gastroenteritis, vomiting and diarrhea.
Oh.
No, it was awful.
How do you get that? Is it like do you eat something or?
I think I just caught it from work, to be honest. No, that was the first time I've been like ill for probably since like childhood, like with like a vomiting.
Oh, really?
It wasn't nice at all. But I'm over it.
We move.
We go again. It was like a 40-hour period where all I had was a glass of water, 2 glasses of water, and a rice pudding maybe. But no, apart from that, back to the cinema for the first time.
Me too.
To see June.
I saw the new Diana film.
Oh, for God's sake. You're going to end up featuring on this podcast as a Karen.
She's an icon. But it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting like a sort of long episode of The Crown.
Right, never seen it.
It was actually quite like a sort of indie, artsy, thriller type film.
A thriller about Diana?
Not a thriller. It was, she had a lot of kind of flashbacks and, not flashbacks, what are those called? Like hallucinations and things like that. And it was kind of set over like a long weekend period, just so it didn't like follow you through her life or anything. There's no plot.
Why was she having hallucinations?
Well, I think it was to portray that obviously her mental health was, she had like bad mental health and obviously the eating disorders and the divorce and everything. I was expecting a bit more glitz and glam.
Well, you can't have it all.
No.
That doesn't interest me whatsoever, so I'm going to politely nod and smile and move on.
Just because you say it's polite doesn't mean it's polite.
I just have no interest in that at all. Like, at all. Long-time listeners, hello to you, will remember at the very start of WIINK, I got this really creepy leaflet through my door. I don't know if you remember it, Bethany, but it was
only the OGs will know.
It was about like window cleaning, but then also like, are you a man aged between like 20 and 40, and do you like to holiday in Benidorm and stuff like this, and with a phone number and all that? It was just kind of odd. I think it's on Instagram, or maybe it was on Instagram. Anyway, I got another one about 3 weeks ago. Do you love singing and holidaying in Benidorm? If so, the age has gone up, I think. If so, men aged 45 to 65 wanted for an outdoor doo-wop-based vocal group. Just for fun till I win the lottery.
I'm just so intrigued by this. Like, are they doo-wopping in Benidorm? Or
yeah, I think they are.
Here, but also they just happen to like going to Benidorm.
I think they probably practice here and then go on holiday together to Benidorm and perform as a doo-wop group. The leaflet art is a really crudely drawn like palm tree with a sun and then like three men with musical notes above them and the word Benidorm typed across them. I don't know if they wear t-shirts that spell out Benidorm.
Well, just how old are you now? 26. The countdown is on.
Countdown's on. I've only got oh my god, I've only got 19 years to go until I'm eligible for this group.
Oh, I bet you can't wait.
Cannot wait. And on the back it says, "Hire me because I do inside and out and without splashing water everywhere. Window cleaning."
So he's a doo-wopping window cleaner.
I wonder what his primary occupation is. I think he's a doo-wopper that window cleans in his part-time. Like fund it, or is he a window cleaner with a passion for doo-wop?
Well,
What is doo-wop?
Um,
It's not like, what's that song? No, that's Mbop, the Hanson one. Mbap.
do you know what I think doo-wop is? Do you remember that episode of The Simpsons where Homer joins like the quartet?
Is it like a barbershop quartet?
Yeah, Barbara. That's what I think doo-wop is, but I don't know if that is true.
Write in if you know what doo-wop is. I won't be joining it anytime soon.
And now, it wouldn't be a WIINK episode in November if we didn't talk about poppies.
Oh God. Do you know the number of lorries I've seen with like dirty, dirty poppies like strapped to their grills? Like filthy, filthy, ragged poppies. I think I started seeing them in September. I'm sure I started seeing taxis with poppies on them. Mental. I cycle past a house on my way to work that has a poppy on the grill of its car, a bench with like "Lest We Forget" on them in the garden, with like World War One, you know, like the silhouette of a World War One soldier like engraved into the bench, and a flagpole with a Union Jack on it that was at half mast for most of this month.
Yeah, well, we've spoken about this before in that sometimes in trying to be respectful and marking that, it becomes a bit performative and actually really just tacky.
Well, we'll share it we'll put it on story once this episode's up, but was there not a poppy thong? Do people make these for a joke?
I don't know. And a "Lest We Forget" miniskirt.
Getting the look.
That is just not. That's not respectful.
No, and it's become like so politicized. Like it is no longer about paying respect to people who died in World War One, World War Two. It's now about like who can put on the biggest display of like, you know, so-called patriotism, or like it's essentially just a stick to beat other people with. Like if you're on TV and you're not wearing a poppy.
Yeah.
Like Strictly Come Dancing in the, you know, behind the scenes training videos, they're wearing like their jogging bottoms or their leggings and their white t-shirts with poppies on their white t-shirts, like pinned to their white t-shirts.
I thought you were going to say about Rylan, who presents, like, I think at Strictly, like the supplementary programme of Strictly, and I think his poppy fell off for only like, I think like one ad break. His poppy fell off, and then it was on within the next ad break, and they were getting all these complaints about how Rylan is so disrespectful and doesn't he want to respect the fallen and all this sort of stuff. Well, I would say not wearing a poppy, whether it is by accident, like it fell off, or you're purposefully not wearing it, is more respectful than a poppy thong or one of these horrible, like big, huge poppy t-shirts or poppy hats or whatever, poppy face masks.
It's a bit of it's a cult like, and it's weird. It's like wearing, like, to wear a poppy is, rather than being like something that you opt into, like wearing a poppy is supposed to be like the expected norm during the month of November. Which is just weird to me. Like, this must be the only country in the world where like that's enforced. Like your broadcasters all make every single person wear a poppy.
Yeah,
Oh God, you better wear a poppy because people will be angry. Isn't that a sign that it's ridiculous in the first place?
yeah, yeah. So, because I suppose you've got like, off the top of my head, like breast cancer awareness month or mental health awareness. You do have all these kind of months of activism or awareness or whatever, but there isn't a collective movement, or not everyone wears the pin badge or whatever it is. It's very bizarre.
It's 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 weird. I'll never understand it.
Oh, should I cancel your poppy thong for Christmas?
Oh dear. Did you see the? I think you sent it to me, Bethany. The photo of someone for Remembrance Sunday, or whatever. They've been like, oh my, that's my garden ready for next week, and it was like black crosses, like graves in the front garden with poppies on them, and then like scarecrows, like arranged like soldiers, all like sitting about in the garden. One of them was like huddled up in a sleeping bag. I don't know if they're dead or if they're just asleep. It's so weird. And then they've got like poppies cascading down the front of their houses, a silhouette of a World War One soldier, a poppy flag, a Union Jack. It's just mental.
Yeah, like that is grotesque. But then that's just I can't understand how someone choosing for whatever reason not to wear one seems to be the most disrespectful thing that you can do on broadcast or whatever, but somehow doing that
It's so class.
grotesque display means that you're more patriotic or more, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for, more aware, or you're better
More of an upstanding, a good British citizen. Anyway, okay, so here's the story that I've got. Woman divides opinion over reaction to toddler hitting her during flight. So this woman is on a plane. She's got a wee girl behind her, or a wee boy, whoever, who kept like putting their arm forward through the gap in the seat and like grabbing her arm. So they've like put, I don't know, they put a video on TikTok or something, like just like killing themselves laughing, essentially at this wee hand like poking through and like tickling her arm and then disappearing again. But the comments, oh my god! Obviously, some people being like, "Oh, this is so wholesome, like that's good-hearted," and then people were like, "No, thank you. Let the parents know." You guys have patience. I'd have whacked that hand away within seconds, and she wouldn't have done it again. Hit a stranger's kid? I don't think so. And then this was the one that I was. I was like, what the? Another person said, touching strangers without their permission, going up to assault people, not okay.
Oh God, lighten up.
No, what the?
It's just so funny how like anything on the internet can just cause so much hatred and division.
And like, what a leap that a child who's just like going like, is going to grow up to assault people. I just, oh.
I'm surprised. I'm sure if you scrolled further, it would be comments like, "Kids these days don't know how to behave. Back in my day, we'd have got a slapped arse and sent to bed with gruel."
Have you ever had your chair kicked by a kid on a plane?
I think so.
How did you react?
I can't. I feel like I can't remember. I probably wouldn't have done anything.
Wimp.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like it's different maybe if you're on a really super long haul flight or something, but see if you're on a flight it's a couple hours, just get over it.
Deal with it.
Deal with
I've
it.
I've definitely had kids like kicking my chair before. But again, like, am I that bothered?
I reckon though if you were on say like a long 12-hour flight or something, I think I would have to say something because otherwise you're just going to drive yourself nuts, aren't you?
Yeah.
But then sometimes I bet if you said something it would then aggravate it and they'd get your chair more.
But I don't. Yeah. Well,
I feel
I,
like I've genuinely not like been on a plane in so long that I can't remember.
you would take it. I don't care if someone's going to kick
Oh
my
yeah,
shit. We're on a plane out of here.
get me on my hollybobs.
I think I'd be less pissed off about it if you heard the mum and the dad whoever telling them to stop it. I think when they just like are, if they're just going like boom, 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 boom on your chair and the mum and dad isn't saying anything, that's what annoys
But
you.
then we're not parents, so we don't know if they're just at the end of their tether and they're just like, fucking do what you want. You're just like, you've had it up to here, and you just don't want to discipline anymore. Because it must be hard having to constantly just like tell people what to do all the time. It must be really hard work. So
Shout out to all the mums and dads out there.
there to all the mums and dads, rather you than me.
And then on the topic of young people as well, there was obviously a lot of youth climate action during COP 26.
Yep.
Greta Thunberg is here for a couple of marches. And STV had tweeted an article, thousands of young people to march through Glasgow in climate strike. And the comments underneath. If young people are serious about saving the planet, ask them to turn off their phone for a day. How much energy would that save? Phones bought for them by their parents. Someone else replied. If they're old enough to have a phone, then they're old enough to switch it off if they are so passionate about climate change. All these people saying that while on their phones on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like I don't think
And,
phones are.
but then also, and for all they know, how do they know what those people are doing? For all they know, they don't have a phone or they don't use a phone or just
Just shut up. Like, come on, like, is that seriously what you're going to reduce it to? Like, you're going to use, like, I think I would be, surely the point there is like, wow, that's really impressive. All these young people are like motivated and mobilized and like standing up for
yeah.
their future. And then you've got to attack them over something like that. It's so pathetic.
It's always the same though. If you try and do anything like, if you say, "Oh, I'm vegetarian because I want to try and reduce my meat consumption and better for the environment." Oh well, but do you drive a car or do you do this or do you do that? There's always a kind of whataboutery of if you try and do something, it's like, oh well, what about this? What about that?
Well, I was going to be, what about it right there? But these people should before they try and attack people and charging up their phone, which is a minuscule amount of energy, think about their cars and their diet before they come for someone else's mobile phone.
Yeah.
How much energy does the mobile phone use? Not much.
No, but I guess it's just because the stereotype that young people are on their phone all the time, which is probably true because I think so many people, young and old, are on their phone all the time. I don't think it's a young generation problem.
Could they have organised that protest without their phones? Probably not.
Probably not. I can't do anything without my phone. Another stereotype, probably, but I genuinely can't. I use it for everything.
No, neither can I. I've
But so does
got
everyone.
email,
Yeah.
messaging, camera, social media, music. So
Yeah.
the world, even though we've been away for a month or 6 weeks, the world is still an angry, bitter place, unfortunately. And speaking of driving, I've got my theory test in 2 days' time and I've not studied for it.
You'll be fine. Have we spoken on the podcast before about my theory test?
We've spoken about your driving, but I don't think we've spoken about your theory test.
I genuinely, and this is probably bad, but I can't remember how many times I failed it.
Oh my god! I thought it was impossible to fail. You're making me nervous now because
But then it came up as a fail because I think at least twice I like booked it and forgot about it, so just didn't like show up because I forgot. So I'm sure that like counts as a fail when actually I just like didn't sit the test because I forgot.
yeah. I mean, I can't afford to forget it, to be honest, because
It's so hard to book one,
hard
isn't
to
it?
get. So I managed to get one in
Back in the
Benidorm.
day, you could get one easy. You could get one for the next day.
I know now it's like you have to look like 3 months in advance. So I've been waiting on this since like July.
God, you'll be fine. Do you know what it was for me? I passed the questions every time, but it was the hazard perception.
What do you need to get in hazard perception? 50%?
I can't remember. I like just
I had an app. I downloaded an app. Like the actual questions are, insulting. But the hazard perception, I think I'll need to.
yeah.
Look at.
Sometimes you do get a bit of a tricky, especially with like the road signs and stuff. Some of them are a bit tricky. But once you do a few, you just get into the hang of it. So I think at times I got like 100% in the questions, and then just kept failing the hazard perception. But you'll be fine. You're way smarter than me.
If I fail, I'm going to be primarily embarrassed, and no offense to all the people that failed this theory.
Mainly me that you're talking to right now.
And also just annoyed that I'm going to have to wait like another 3 months to the theory test.
Yeah. I'm going to put a number and say maybe 6.
For what?
Like how many I failed.
That's bad.
I think maybe 2 I didn't go to, and then...
Because you forgot.
Because I forgot, yeah. So my Karen story this week, and I actually think you could be one of these people.
Oh God.
So the story was from a couple of weeks ago, 5th of November, and it's an article in The Sun, friend of the podcast, and it's an article about putting your Christmas tree up early, and it's like about how psychologists say it makes you happier. Very innocuous article, and but some of the comments, as you can expect, are pretty angry. I'll read out a few and then maybe we could pick our favourite. We've got one here from Suzanne. Not for me. Clutter causes stress and harder to clean around it. Bored of it by December, so ruins the lead up to Christmas. It wouldn't make me happy at all.
Okay. She knows what she likes, and
yeah.
She's thought out her argument. Give her that.
Yeah, she's laid it out.
I don't agree. Clutter. I mean, how hard are you going with the Christmas decorations that you have to clean around them? Do you know what I mean? Are you plonking stuff like in the middle of every room? Like that seems.
This one is going a bit more extreme. This is Matthew. Seeing people's Christmas decorations up now would just make me want to slap them multiple times, quite hard.
Oh my God.
So passionate. If I'm maybe thinking about putting my tree up now, sort of end of November.
I guess we're into Advent, 1st of December. Game.
If I saw someone with their tree up earlier than what I would want to put it up, I wouldn't want to slap them. I'd just go, fair dues. I wouldn't put it up now, but you do.
I think I saw my first Christmas tree 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is... I don't have a problem with people putting their stuff up early, but I personally... But I wait until... I think once 1st of December onwards, when it's Advent, I think that's fine. Not that I'm like a big religious person, but I just think that is the kind of official, countdown to Christmas starting. That's when things get festive. Because what are we? We're just 3 weeks ago would be the end of October. Like,
no, it was so this was on the 5th of November. Okay, we've got David here. Stop the madness. There's a time and a place for everything. Now is neither the time nor the place for the Christmas hype.
The place?
Does he mean like the sun? I don't know. The sun, I don't know. Stephen. Well, I must be a grumpy old sod as I hate Christmas and never put up decorations. Well, Stephen, I think you are a grumpy sod.
I think that is grumpy. I love Christmas. Although I don't put my decorations up in November, I love Christmas. I love it, love it, love it.
But see, I kind of knew that you were a bit of a... What's the word?
Me?
Yeah, what's the word when you're sort of sacred about, when you're like a traditionalist about Christmas? Is that the right word? Or a...
I am. Quite traditional. I like a real tree. I like an advent calendar without chocolate. Taking it back to, kind of Amish standards. No singing, no dancing, no mechanical machinery.
Okay, now this is I think this is the last one I've saved here. Well, this is Tracy, who is a top fan of the Sun.
God, warning signs. Red flag, red flag.
She says, I couldn't think of anything worse. I'd rather stick pins in my eyes. I hate Christmas decorations. They are clutter. Oh, another one about clutter.
My God, what is the obsession with? I don't think they are clutter. I think it can be extremely tasteful and very cozy.
I suppose it depends, but then it depends. Yeah, it depends how you decorate, but just don't clutter your house with decorations.
It's because it's only the people at the extremes that talk about it. So you would be forgiven for thinking people either hate Christmas and hate decorations, or go like completely mental and have like their entire house done up
Yeah,
outside. I like to have a real tree, maybe a little festive candle holder, maybe some fairy lights up.
yeah,
Tinsel, not so much. Simple, but effective.
and boring.
Well, just because you've got a pink plastic tree, 7 foot tall but baldy,
Black glittery.
black and bloody.
Oh.
You go for a theme each year. I think my mum does it. My mum does a theme.
No, I think because I've only moved out a couple of years, I've not really got enough, and my flat's quite small, so I can't have a real tree because real trees are obviously quite wide. So I have a kind of fake narrow one, but I don't think I have enough decorations to do a theme, like a colour theme and anything.
I just love the smell of a real tree. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh. And I do like, last year we had one in lockdown and we didn't have that many Christmas decorations, and we thought, oh, we're not going to order like a full set of like full blown like baubles and all that kind of stuff. So we just had like fairy lights around it and a star and a few things like that. Oh my God, my stomach's rumbling. I think the mic just picked it up.
Yeah, it did.
It's because we're talking about Christmas and I'm thinking about Christmas dinner. Like, I'm already thinking about my Christmas dinner. I'm so excited.
Your
So
tree
excited.
last year was very minimalist.
Well, that is what I wanted to say earlier, but I thought you'd make fun of me for saying that.
So Scandi. So who do we think then is our Karen of the week or our comment of the week?
Either the first one or the last one. Read the first one out again.
Was that Suzanne?
Yeah.
Not for me. Clutter causes stress and harder to clean around it. Bored of it by December, so ruins the lead up to Christmas. It wouldn't make me happy at all.
Succinct, to the point, depressing. And then the last one, she was
Or
talking about.
Tracy. I couldn't think of anything worse. I'd rather stick pins in my eyes. I hate Christmas decorations. They are clutter.
I hate them.
Tracy is definitely a more her response is a bit angrier, isn't it? It's more. I think Tracy says she doesn't really hate Christmas decorations.
But she's miserable though. She's like, ruins the run up to Christmas. I'd be bored of them by December.
Yeah.
Then don't put them up. Nobody's telling you to put them up.
That's the thing, isn't it? Different strokes for different folks. I wouldn't personally put my tree up maybe this, October, November, early November. But see if you want to put it up. It doesn't make me want to stick pins in my eyes.
No, I'm not stopping you either, but I would just.
You would sort of
it's because
shake your head and tut walking past.
I think it's because part of me is like, we spoke about this time last year, how like we see you kind of roll from one holiday thing to the next, like, so you go from like summertime into Halloween and then immediately it's like Christmas stuff's in shops, but then it's like poppy time and bonfire night and then you're into Christmas. So it's just like, I feel like you need to have a little bit of normal life in between these things.
What do you think though? People just really look forward to all these things though, to try and escape the abject misery of normal life.
Maybe. I mean, those are harsh words.
Well, I do think though people cling to these sort of holidays and markers and things, and see if you want to put your tree up in September, See if you want to keep your tree up all year round, do it.
The one thing I won't I can come to terms with people putting their decorations up early, right? I
Okay.
can just about manage that. What I don't understand is people who like Halloween more than Christmas.
I think that's maybe like a sort of, you know,
Is it like an
people
edgy thing?
an edgy thing. Yeah, it's like quite a cool personality trait, isn't it?
I'm like, oh no, Halloween's much better than Christmas. No, it's not. I'm sorry. Objectively, it's not. It's not better than Christmas at all in any shape, in any way, shape, or form. People, and see, the thing is, people who prefer Halloween to Christmas are never slow in letting you know it because they do think
This
it's a
is true.
personality trait.
Hmm.
It's not a personality to
But
think
then I
that.
think it's also like a people who are like who say they don't like Christmas, and that's a bit of a kind of edgy thing, isn't it? Like, oh, I hate Christmas. Like, no decorations. Like, it's just clutter. That's a bit of a. I'm just a bit different. I'm not like everyone else.
Try hard, if you ask me. Let yourself go and live a little.
I think I've definitely I like Christmas. I think obviously you like it when you're really young and you're you know you're excited for Santa and everything. I think when you get to maybe like 15, 16, 17, 18, like I kind of lost the Christmas magic a little bit. I think I quite liked going out and getting pissed at Christmas, but I didn't really like get into the whole festive thing.
I've
I
never
think
gone out on Christmas Eve ever. I've never done that. The idea of being rough on Christmas morning and like not being able to enjoy my dinner and family come around is just awful to me. I just want to enjoy the full day. I would have a drink on Christmas Day, but I would never go out on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I think Christmas is definitely coming more special. Not more special, but I think I'm, excited for Christmas more now than what I was like in my teenage years.
It's natural though in your teenage years you get a bit rebellious and a bit, Christmas is I'm too cool for Christmas. I
Yeah,
prefer Halloween.
I think I was a bit too cool for Christmas, but
People who prefer Halloween are just teenagers that never grew out of that phase.
there, there you go, folks.
Because you can't tell me that watching a scary film and carving a pumpkin is anywhere near as fun as getting presents, having a slap up meal, and seeing all your family.
No, but I suppose if you're like a goth, maybe like
I
maybe
guess that's goth,
Halloween is the Christmas of the goths.
it is goth Christmas, you're right. Never thought of it like that.
Yeah. So apologies to any goths listening.
I mean, you look like a goth tonight with that black and white on.
You're also wearing black and white, so shut up.
This is actually navy. Just
And
can't see
also,
it.
that is offensive. If I was a goth, there'd be nothing wrong with it.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you look like one. So you took offence at it, so you're the one that's got a problem with goths. Ah! That went so quickly.
Yeah. Time
It was
flies
good.
when you're having fun.
Well, that it does. It was good to be back.
If you also enjoyed listening to this podcast, please tell all your friends, like our page on Instagram, comment, tell us,
Follow
send
a
us.
page on Instagram. You don't like it, you follow it. God's sake. How old are you?
Too old. Okay, so follow us on Instagram, send us your Karen stories. If you prefer to email us them. It's whatisitnowkaren@gmail.com.
Yep. And I think we've got a bit of a backlog of submissions that we need to try and address.
Yes,
Um,
which we'll do next episode. And then we'll be doing our Christmas special.
yeah. So if you've got any Christmassy stories, any Christmassy Karens, anything you want to share, send it in because we'd love to hear it. Yeah. That was episode 21.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.